In the area around the Chesapeake were found many Powhatan villages. The Powhatans lived a sedentary lifestyle revolving around farming. The villages were usually small, containing around 100 people and 10 to 12 yahakans or huts. The chief of the Powhatans was named Powhatan. He controlled not only one village but an entire area. The yahakans were constructed of bark and woven rush mats lashed together with saplings. There would be one yahakan per family, and they were used mostly for sleeping and securing food. Within the huts there would always be a fire burning, which was not only to keep out the bugs and to help with warmth and light, but was said to bring luck. Along the insides of the huts were sleeping areas lined with animal skins. Along the ceilings, a visitor would find the food hanging out of the way and also away from the reach of any creatures that may be interested. Also seen within the village would be a garden located next to each yahakan. Here the women of the tribe would grow corn, beans, squash, pumpkins, and sunflowers. Many of these would be dried and saved for the winter months. Women would also gather fruits, nuts, and berries. Near the gardens would usually be constructed a scarecrow, where young boys would sit and play and watch over the garden to keep it safe from birds, rabbits, or raccoons. Along with eating vegetables grown in their gardens, the Powhatan men also hunted and fished. Animals hunted included deer, duck, turkey, and birds. When not hunting, the men would fish for both freshwater and saltwater fish or shellfish. The fish, like the vegetables, would also be dried for the winter. Very important to the Powhatan Indians was the canoe. It was the way the villages transported people, goods, and information among themselves. The Powhatans would make a canoe by burning out the inside of a cypress tree, then scraping the charred remains with an oyster shell. Due to their tools, the process was a long one that took many hours. But once completed, the canoe was very sturdy and would last a long time. Women not only tended the gardens but also cooked the food. The food was prepared outside under a portico and then cooked in large fire pits, which were also located outside. Depending on what was being cooked, the women had a few options for the process. They could either cook using a clay pot or a flat stone. Here we see located a clay pot which could be used to cook a stew. Stews would most likely include corn, beans, squash, and meat. Sometimes a flat stone is all that was needed. These flat stones were very valuable because they were found west of the Tidewater region and had to be traded for. They were used for their flat surfaces, which would be heated up to make breads and cakes. After being dried, corn, hickory nuts, acorns, walnuts, and chestnuts would be pounded to make flour for bread in a wooden grinder. A final thing seen within the Powhatan village would be the place where the animal hides are tanned. This was very important to the Powhatan way of life. The process was tedious, but after completion, a piece of clothing would be waterproof and long-lasting. By 1675, many of the Powhatan villages had been destroyed, where the Powhatan had left or relocated due to English expansion and colonization in the area.